AMD is finally launching Redstone in December. Microsoft is turning your operating system into something an AI can use, and budget GPUs might be dying. Let's get into the hot news, everybody. I'm your Brett host. We're gonna be going over the hottest tech news I can find on the internet while you enjoy your breakfast this Wednesday, November 19, 2025. And just my breakfast this morning is a burr and hash brown stack from McDonald's. My favorite breakfast to have here in South Africa. I absolutely love it. They do a great job. The jalapeno sauce, the onions, just everything about it, so good. And hopefully AMD's FSR Redstone is good. This is the update to FSR that uses a whole bunch of machine learning stuff, does AI acceleration, and officially it is coming out on December 10th, according to AMD's own representative putting out this little teaser that you're getting the goods for FSR Redstone. Doesn't really show much that we don't already know, but the launch date's December 10th. We've already seen the ray reconstruction, ray regeneration is what AMD calls it. Reconstruction is what NVIDIA calls it. Debut in Black Ops 7, but considering the commercial failure that appears to be, not many of you have used it, but it is happening. And in case you want to get your system ready for that December 10th launch, today's video sponsor is perfect for that.
That special time of year is upon us. The smell of fresh cardboard, newly unpacked electronics, and freshly printed manuals that you're for sure not gonna read. Oh wait, did you think I meant the holidays? Nah, I'm talking about Black Friday, baby. Specifically, all the crazy deals and savings found over at Newegg, today's sponsor. Newegg is running Black Friday deals all month long as part of Black November. From November 1st to November 29th, new deals unlock every day, with them only getting better the closer to the actual day. The doorbusters include things like Corsair power supplies, MSI GPUs, gaming keyboards from Asus, and much more. While some of these cleared out too fast for you to pick up now, there's still plenty more available. You just gotta be quick. The Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 FE Plus 13-inch model just unlocked a few days ago. It's a great option if you're looking for a new tablet, especially one with an included pen. If you're building a new PC or looking to upgrade your current one, a whole ton of components are on sale. 9000 series AMD processors, including the best gaming CPU out there, the 9800X3D, 50 series video cards, and much more. Everything you know and love Newegg for is on the table for big savings all this November. Check in for the daily doorbusters and the new theme of each week of savings during Newegg's Black November. Check out everything we talked about and more via the link in the description below. Huge thanks to Newegg for sponsoring today's video.
Well, turns out you don't need to buy a 9000 series GPU to use FSR4. You can potentially get an older one, especially if you're picking it up from Newegg, because if you're using Linux, there's a new update to the DirectX translation layer that allows you to use FSR4 on older GPUs, an experimental setup that gives you anti-lag support, as well as the newest generation of FSR, which is exclusive to RX 9000 series GPUs officially at this moment, but you can use this. Now, this is not coming out to the official branch path of the Vulkan to DirectX 12 translation layer. This is going to be a experimental one right now, and it's not going to be as good as if you were running it on an RX 9000 series GPU, but it is available for you to enable it, try it out. Yins Linux gamers, I'm sure you'll have a good time with that. And it looks like Apple and Broadcom might have a time with Intel. This has been something that's been in the rumor mill for a while, that both of these companies are looking at using Intel's fabrication facilities for upcoming products, and now there's new evidence that that is at least being investigated, because both Apple and Broadcom having details of job listings for people and engineers that would work with technology that is in Intel's foundry. So this is just something that's being posted. This doesn't mean they are going that route. It might just be an architectural exploration, and they need somebody familiar with it in order to actually help them decide whether or not to go to Intel, but it's going to be something that they need in order to keep their foundries afloat. And I don't know how Windows really stays afloat with a lot of the moves that they're making, at least for enthusiast and power users. I could see a lot of normies just kind of letting this happen, but the latest update to Windows 11 is that it's going to have agentic AI, which is an AI that does things on your behalf. This is coming out to the insider profile that there are experimental agentic features now baked in to Windows 11, and it can do various different things on your behalf, access different folders, connect to different apps. But one of the things Microsoft is trying to stress is that they have security top of mind for all of this kind of stuff. So they recommend you only enable this feature if you understand the security implications outlined on their page, and that you know that you're allowing the AI to do things on your behalf, and it could get up to nefarious or shenanigizing behavior on your computer. Now, it does operate as its own user on your system, so you have to kind of give it permission to do various different things, and allegedly it's going to have a very traceable path of everything that it does and see across the operating system. But thankfully, currently, this one is going to be enabled not by default. It's going to only be enabled if you turn it on. However, how long before they decide that the data is too valuable and they don't just ship it on with whatever Windows 11 laptops you pick up at Best Buy? Especially with how they're turning a bunch of other AI features on by default, this likely will just continue. I think I saw a Hardware Canucks tweet about Microsoft enabling AI in Microsoft Office, the whole suite, and not allowing you to even disable it, and so they're going to be moving on from that. I could see a lot of people not wanting this on their computer, not wanting to have this half sentient being operating their computer allegedly on their behalf. I don't know. What do you think of this? If you're on Windows 11, I don't care if you're on Linux, just don't answer this. If you're running in Linux primarily, shush. I know your fingers are already typing. If you're on Windows 11 as your primary and main and operating system, you're not a Linux guy, does this impact your decision to look elsewhere? Are you thinking about switching to Mac? Are you thinking about switching to Linux? Will you invent your own operating system? Let me know down below in the comments. I will ignore you, Linux bros. I'm gonna do that, and Reece is not gonna ignore you. He's got some deals for you beyond what we had in today's sponsor.
Yo, welcome back to UFD Deals, bringing the hottest tech deals on the internet, and here's your first deal. Starting us off, we have the Coolermaster 360 Elite Liquid AIO CPU Cooler, with the black and white variant going for $49.99 with the included promo code, making it $40 off. But then next up, we have the Corsair 6500D Airflow, which is their super mid-tower case, available in black or white for $69.99 with the included promo code, bringing your total off to $130. But then up next, we have this ASRock Phantom Gaming 25-inch 1080p 180Hz IPS monitor for $87.99, making it $42 off. And lastly, we have this Western Digital MyBook external hard drive with the 6TB variant going for $99.99, making it $70 off. And hey, with that, the deals are done. You can find these and more linked in the video description down below. But until next time, hand you off back to Brett for the rest of your hot news. Cheers.
Well, Reece, if you find a good deal on Epic Games Store, you can now gift it. Yes, that's the story. Epic Games Store now supporting gifting games after 7 years of being a launcher. Primarily a feature that you think is pretty core to the foundation of Steam. Wasn't on Epic Games for a very long time. Now it is. I do have to point out this Tech Power Up article says that Steam does not allow gifting games to friends or family in a different country or currency, and that is not true. I gift games to Reece, Rikus, Jason, Josh, and Catlin all of the time. The difference is if you're in a cheaper country, you can't gift to a more expensive country. Like Dispatch is 250 Rand here in South Africa, which is half the price of what it is for me in the United States of $30. And when I tried to have Reece gift it to me and I was gonna pay him back, they wouldn't allow that. But I could gift Reece Dispatch no problem. I would just be paying a higher price. Even though he has a South African account, I have an American account, it allows for that kind of cross-country thing as long as the higher price is being paid, as far as I can see. Although Epic Games does say that they're planning on cross-region gifting in the future, likely not gonna have this whole like regional pricing disparity happen. But if you were waiting 7 years for gifting on Epic Games, maybe you're waiting for Meta to get their their comeuppance, if you will, getting marked for the monopoly that they are. It turns out not gonna happen because the FTC lawsuit against Meta in order to allege that they're a monopoly for their ownership of WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, calling them a monopoly in the personal social networking space. That didn't fly with the judge, who says that separate markets of social networking and social media are over, and that the Facebook that existed back when they acquired all these companies is no longer the Facebook that exists now. And so the monopoly that allegedly existed does not exist anymore. The landscape has shifted, and so it's not a problem that they have all of this under their belt. The FTC not really liking this ruling, saying that we're deeply disappointed in this, and the deck was always stacked against us with this judge who is currently facing articles of impeachment. We are reviewing all of our options. So Meta not really having to review its options. We'll see if there's an appeal, if this tries to move forward, if the FTC is going to try to go after them again. We'll keep you updated as all of that happens. But while Meta doesn't have to let go of anything, it turns out Nvidia and AMD, at least according to one report, are investigating whether or not they need to let go of budget GPUs. Reports are because of the RAM pricing that we've been discussing quite heavily here on Hot News, that the pricing, the bill of materials for budget graphics cards puts memory way too high as a percentage of those cards, and so it makes it not worth to sell them unless they would have to jack up the price significantly, which would yield them pretty bad marketing and make things difficult, so it might potentially be easier for them to get rid of the cards overall. Now, it's not quite clear what's meant from this Korean media outlet by what is a budget GPU. Some people speculate it's the 50 class card. You're gonna get rid of the 5050, maybe the 9060. Others are speculating that this could also impact things like the 5060 and the 9060 XT. This discontinuation of budget GPUs is just something that is coming out from some sources. It's not really confirmed at this moment whatsoever, but all signs are at least pointing to higher priced graphics cards in the near future. And if you are thinking about getting a graphics card and you have the money and you see a price that you agree with, pulling the trigger on that purchase might be the sensible move at this moment. Now, that's not financial advice, that's not future prognostication. A lot of caveats in that sentence, but a lot of indication that pricing on graphics cards will elevate in the coming months and potentially might make it so that the elevation is that they just cut the floor out to begin with and it starts at a 5070. We'll see. We'll see. Let me know what you think of budget GPUs potentially going the way of the dodo down below in the comments while I read what you said in yesterday's episode of Hot News. We got N8 saying pre-builds will be RAM not included soon. Scan QR code to download RAM. I thought that was hilarious, so I loved it. That was very good comment. And then Jimma saying, recorded too early to cover the massive Cloudflare outage, I reckon. One, yes. Two, I didn't even cover it today because I don't find it very interesting. You know, this kind of stuff happens. The AWS outage happens. Cloudflare outage happens. I covered the AWS thing mainly because it affected us in our workflow. Cloudflare thing didn't really impact us too much, but like, this isn't the first time it's happened in recent memory. It's going to happen again. All of the companies that were making fun of the websites that went down when AWS went down, some of them went down when Cloudflare did. I know the Twitter, XAI, all that kind of stuff was saying, haha, we're still up when Amazon went down, but they use Cloudflare. So this is what happens when you use service providers as the foundation of the internet, and sometimes they have a hiccup. I don't know. Let me know if you were affected by the Cloudflare outage. It just, it didn't seem to impact me too much, and based on what I read, nothing super novel as to why it happened. It was just some file that got out of hand because they didn't expect the outcome of their programming. It's fine. It happens. And it was there saying hopium, if I may say. That was in reference to the comment that Half-Life 3 might get announced yesterday. Didn't happen. There's some hopium that'll happen today on the anniversary of Half-Life 1 being released. Again, just a lot of copium and hopium that Half-Life 3 will be announced at some point. There's data mining reasons why people are expecting it. There's things like Jeff Keighley, the host of the Game Awards, posted his Steam profile and he only has a single game wishlisted, and when somebody asked him what that game was, he posted an eyes emoji, and he knows things before everybody else does. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? If it happens, I'm happy for you people who enjoy Half-Life, because it ain't my bag. And then we got Alan saying, sometimes y'all comments are wild. That line killed me. Sorry, we're so extra. I didn't even say that. I said yins. I didn't say y'all. I have adopted a Pittsburgh vernacular on purpose, and the fact that you are trying to exclude it hurts. All right? I speak in a way that kind of amalgamates all of the different places that I live. I try to incorporate the linguistics of the regional differences that I have. I call things robots. I say tomato. I'll call ketchup tomato sauce. I said things in Pittsburgh that I picked up from South Africa, and I'm saying things from Pittsburgh that I want to use here. Respect the yins. And then AA Jack saying, most people blame the dog. You guys blame Kyler. That's because he's a stinky boy. Kyler's stinky. I can attest. Stinky boy. Then Nuts at you saying, UFD, my back hurts. Thoughts? I do have a couple thoughts, specifically because you're asking. Number one, I would check your sleeping environment. Number two, I would check your positioning when you're lifting things. Number three, nearly every time I've had back aching pains, it is because I have neglected to strengthen my back muscles. And it's a stabilizer muscle issue where my daily lifting tasks and my daily workload requires me to do certain things that my body is just not prepared for, and so I usually fix it with a week at the gym and focusing more on my back and my shoulders, and getting stabilizer muscles all built up typically helps a lot with my back pain. Hope that helps. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on TV. And then that Canadian Wayne saying, why would Twitch stop paying? That really sucks. Because they found that somebody else did a fraudulent transaction on Twitch. And I'm not joking, that is the email that we got from them. They said specifically there was a fraudulent transaction committed on your channel. This is not something we did. It is somebody used a fake credit card or somehow otherwise gamed the system to buy bits or subs and made it so that we got money that wasn't proper, but instead of not paying us that amount, whatever the fraudulent amount is, just removing that, they're not paying us anything for who knows how long. It's currently, based on my discussions with them, an indefinite amount of time until this is fixed. And so right now, we're net revenue bad on Twitch because it's not coming in to the point where it's helping out. So it's a problem. We're talking with them. I don't know how long it's gonna take to get resolved. This is why you diversify as a business, which is a really important part of our business, part of our financial foundation, but we can live without it. It's just gonna make things a little tricky. Like buying a PC here is something I've had to put off because I don't have this money coming in. So, makes things trickier, but everybody's still getting paid, lights are staying on, videos are still getting made, just maybe not the videos that I want. I can't buy the parts to review certain things. So hopefully it gets resolved and I'll have a positive report sometime. That's the goal. All right, I'm gonna go out of here. Bye.